The president is duly elected by the people of this country. He has a very specific, if not broad, agenda, and seems like he floods the news media almost on a daily basis. He's a master of distraction. You get an idea of where my focus is and what we're dealing with almost on a daily basis. Now let me hear from you.
There's three words that you mentioned when you began.
Yep.
Threat to democracy.
Yep.
Believe it, it's real. Believe it when there is a threat to democracy under this administration.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Thank you.
My concern and the concern of many youth and people that are left of center is that Democrats aren't doing enough to respond to what Trump and his administration did. Yesterday, the official White House Instagram and Twitter accounts posted an image of Trump wearing a crown saying, "Long live the king." That is grounds for treason, according to our Constitution.
There is a process that is slow sometimes, that is aggravating, that is frustrating. And yet, the system does work.
The New York Times had a long story on this morning. Clearly, he is trying to get access to that data. On one hand, I don't know, but what can you do to stop him from doing it?
Oh, we got to get these two federal employees, one at the IRS and Michelle King this past weekend, who stepped down because she refused to do it. What we don't do, and what we've called for, is for them to come before us, come before the Ways and Means Committee and say, what information are you requesting and why, and under what authority do you have to get that information? And the answer is zero.
My concern is during Trump's first presidency, many people that I'm friendly with, and I think many people in the country had sigh of relief when he left office, because, and then the thing was, oh, the guardrails held, the guardrails held. My concern is that now career civil servants, of which I was one for the state of Connecticut for over 28 years, are leaving in droves, either being laid off, fired. I believe a climate scientist with the EPA was outed by Elon Musk. She had to shut down all her social media. So the concern here is, where are the guardrails now?
Here's just a quick list to add to what you were saying. The number of civil servants terminated, starting with the Department of Agriculture, the employees working on the bird flu.
And I called your office a couple of weeks ago. I said, what are you doing about the funding freeze? Because I haven't heard anything. And the response was, oh, we sent a tweet out last night. That's not cutting it. I'm sorry. And I understand the logistics of the Democrats not having power, but we worry that our autistic children are going to be sent to wellness camps by RFK.
I get the frustration, and I understand why you get infuriated, because you don't see that, I think the term you use is urgency.
I mean, we're here because we want to support you. We want you to represent us. However, you have a room full there of people who feel powerless. And what I want to hear, and I don't know that we'll have the answer in Ohio, but I do feel that it's really important to acknowledge that we are really, really upset.
Can we impact 3 Republicans Can we get those 3 people by putting enough pressure on them to vote with us? It's not as though your delegation, and I shouldn't speak for the whole delegation, but I think I do. It's not as though we're not all working together for the same goals and same results.
I do see that those in leadership, the Democratic leadership, are trying to work on our behalf. Although, as stated over and over again, we're not in position of power, and what we are. And so the thing that wanted to spoke earlier, I know myself, I sit at home, I listen to this, and I need to ask you, because this is what I heard. Who's in power? Republicans. Who's making the decisions? The Republicans. So I can call my congressman, I can call my state representatives, I can say some sides out, with guts over, but who has the power? So reaching out to the Republicans. So Congressman, I'll ask you, because I will write to the congressman, even though they're not in the district out there, they say something, and I've got to get it out and I've got to voice my opinion. This is putting pressure. Some people say it doesn't make a difference, but I think it makes you sleep a little better at night.
Every single congressional office, no matter what state, keeps a record of the calls, the letters, the emails that they receive and what they're saying, even if they're not in their district. They will say, and that will come in a different column, but it will still signal what people are thinking.
Our small town government level, there's many grants that have just been automatically canceled right now. And we do a lot of grant funding opportunities for fire. There's a lot of mandates that come through with OSHA, NIOSH, and other functions within the fire service that tax both career and volunteer departments on a daily basis.
I'm glad you brought this up, Pete, because I think people oftentimes will say earmark, and then they don't hear what it actually does and how critical and essential. I think the mayor and the representatives would all say the same thing. I think that these are vitally important to us.
Maybe really the Democratic openings at the elections still coming out. And one thing we could do if we're able to support those people and ensure that they win.
The question is that there are elections. There's at least one more election that's coming up. Yeah, and the others have all been resolved now. But right now, it's we're at 215, and they're at 219.
In terms of tariffs with our dear neighbors of Canada and Mexico, what as individuals, boots on the ground, can we do as a campaign to our neighboring states that border Canada? How can we show the Canadians and the Mexicans that we certainly support them, although terrorists may not?
What we said makes no sense, and it doesn't add up. And then he quickly retreated, and the Canadians and Mexican governments kind of went along because they really just did what they were already doing.
It is a scientific fact that if you get 3.5% of people to change their behavior, to strike, if you will, to work together to exact change, then you actually will get that change to happen.
So if the Department of Education is 8%, might not be a lot for other districts where they are able to apply to funding and they're all able to tap into property taxes. But 8% for students who are in Hartford, who are first generation, who are undocumented, who are multilingual, is detrimental.
As you're well aware, education takes place in every single state in the union. And we're, again, going after our Republican colleagues and saying, you mean you're okay the same programs like you just laid out, eliminating?
The men and women on this committee are good people. They're honest and caring people. And that's why I do not understand why you would relegate this committee to no longer being of significance and resort to saying you will do whatever Elon Musk and Donald Trump tell you to do. Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government. And you start off with a blather, and yet when they look at the empty seats here, where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he found are so evident, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. Because he's out to privatize Social Security. He's been on television the last couple of days talking exactly about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and what he intends to do. Privatize it. The American people, some of them may have been born at night, but not last night.